Dr. Modesto Corderi Novoa, and
Hello.
hello, hi. His presentation is Project YUANFEN 2025,
Yes.
an embodied exploration of Chinese language and culture through drama. So next 30 minutes are yours.
Thank you so much. So I share my screen. Is that possible?
Yes, of course.
All right. We have a Chinese saying that Yuanfen for Chinese people is basically very simple, but it's very powerful. It means that we have a destiny for people to meet. And that's sometimes a magical thing that comes from Buddhism. So I'm going to share just very fast that Chinese people believe that when somebody is destined to meet, either in person or online, like now, so this will happen. And also for me, that was something very powerful that I learned in Chinese. Yes, all right. Thank you very much. So I work in Spain. I lived in China. I usually teach languages like Chinese and Spanish, and drama changed my life. So welcome to Spain. Welcome to the Northwest, right here in Galicia. Galicia is a place very magical. We have a lot of rain. So we have more than 70 words for rain in Galician. So many different kinds of like rain, like fast rain, strong rain, soft rain. Also, it's very important to see that in Ireland, I have a friend from Ireland. She told me that there's many words for the word field. For example, if it's a cornfield, we call it Gremhar. Sorry, my pronunciation is not accurate. If it is a field for livestock, it is a field for dancing, for fairy lives. We have different names also they have in Ireland. Also, there's some words that we cannot translate. We cannot just change from one language to another. For example, karma. Karma is a word that we don't have a translation in many languages, but it has a deep meaning. So we have this kind of called untranslatable words. Untranslatable words are words that sometimes they don't have a direct translation. So any language, maybe in your language, think about some words that maybe they don't have a translation. And this has a strong potential for drama. So what we did in 2022, we have a group of researchers on drama led by Dr. Erika Piazzoli. We went to Ireland, and then we had this called embodying the untranslatable. What we did basically was that we explore different ways to create the potential of how will we explain or use these words in a drama class. So basically, we have a research question saying like, how can untranslatable words be explored performatively to channel dramatic tension towards international awareness? So this was very interesting that because my colleagues have very interesting ideas. So this is the full list of colleagues that participated in this study in Ireland. That was the beginning of today's YUANFEN project, right? So the result was the publication of a paper that is available in the magazine called Arts. The paper was published last year, basically led by Erika Piazzoli and Zoe Hogan for University of Sydney and myself, three of us. And what I wanted to display here is all in this paper that you can look. So what is YUANFEN? YUANFEN could be something like that. So this would be like something we say is interesting. It's just like they want some place in India, and then we have a waiter, so we create the characters, and then we have a lady like coming maybe from another country, and this is the unexpected meeting. This is YUANFEN in the making. This is an example.
Hey, come on, darling, stop the hiding, speak your mind. Oh, I loved you, but you left me speechless. Then say if you love me, then say you love me, you are mine.
goes on, it is about the meeting. Something unexpected happens in your life, right? Another example of what is YUANFEN, this is Marwan. He's a singer from Spain. And then he says the story, there's an interview in a Spanish magazine. They ask him, what is the historical event that is most important for you? So what he says, like in 1961, a young Palestinian man is lost in Puerta del Sol, is the square in Madrid, asking people in English and no one answers. Just a girl passes by there. She answers with a perfect English. The boy falls in love suddenly. He goes behind her, hesitating, keeping his distance. And a few minutes later, he asks for her phone number just before she enters the subway. She gives it to him. That young man is my father. That girl, my mother. For me, this is the most important event in history. So he's telling people how their parents met. And that was also an example of YUANFEN. Two people from different origins and stories meet in a location by chance. So this is the power of YUANFEN, which is very, very interesting. We could also create like the word in Chinese, in English called serendipity or predestined coincidence, right? So it's very hard to translate, but it's very powerful also. So in how we create YUANFEN, how we use drama to perform YUANFEN and use vocabulary sentences for students. So first thing, we're going to create what we call an embodied loop. A loop is some activity or three activities that repeat all the time. So we have like, we have to ask the students to think about their daily lives, like everyday lives, and choose three different activities that they do, right? So for example, like first could be a workout in the morning. Number 2 will be walking to work. Number 3 will be rollerblade. And then we're going to repeat it because this is a loop, right? So we create the idea of this is like something that's going to repeat every day, like a routine, and we do it with our bodies in performing. Then we ask the students to see this video. For example, this video is also about an unexpected encounter and a loop. So let's have a quick look. So we have here the character. We have a boy that gets up in the morning, has a shower, has breakfast, you know, and then runs to get the bus maybe for school. We don't know. And then when he's on the bus, he meets someone. There's a girl there, and they have this like a feeling about what will happen in the future. Kind of them together. So this is YUANFEN. This is an expected meeting during day life. And then we see what the boy is going to do. We can ask students to have the thought tracking. We can ask them to perform the bus. And then the key moment here is what's going to happen when the boy sees the girl. And then we'll see. And this is the key moment. So the boy is too shy, so he's not talking to the girl. So he gets off the bus and has an accident. But what happens after the accident is that he wakes up again. So was it a dream? Was it real? Or is he trapped in a loop?
It's
have the second day of the loop, right? And he goes again, takes the bus, sees the girl, and then before leaving the bus, is he gonna talk to her? Yes or no? Let's see what happens.
So he's wondering
No, he
where to
doesn't.
begin, but it's you again. So he's wondering where to begin. If life you wanna lead, spend the same day on.
So he gets killed again. So he remembers about the car, and he all right. But then there's another. So it's a kind of destiny for him to die every day if he does not talk to the girl, right? But he has to figure that out. So we have a loop situation. He gets up again, like every day at 8:30, again and again.
Repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. Isolate yourself from me, spend the same day on repeat, on repeat, on repeat.
Yeah, very interesting. We create now we see the perspective from the girl. We create the character of the girl that he sees every day, and we see what does she do every day. So she's also on a loop. She's the same.
On repeat, on repeat. On repeat, if you wanna leave, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. Isolate yourself from me, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat.
So we have this idea of like we have a problem, what happens, and both of them are on the loop, repeating things every day. So this is the idea that in the end, to break up the loop, you have to actually do something, which is this. So the only way to break the loop was for the boy to talk to the girl, for example. So this is the idea. We use these videos. They're all, the name of the song is On Repeat, right, from Robin Schulz. So we use this loop to create this perform embodied about life, about what is life, what is routine. So we have to choose these three activities. For example, I did this with the pilgrimage, El Camino, the way, St. James Way to Spain. Pilgrims also have to do walking, maybe having a shower and having dinner, and they repeat that every day. So we ask the students to embody that. So they have to use in the classroom. Maybe you can do like a group of 10, or maybe the whole classroom if you have. And then you play some music, you play a song. And this song, it will be the background for them to perform the routine at the same time. So they will be like all together performing the loop. That means the daily routine. That's also a metaphor for life. But they will be each one doing their thing. There are three, and these three different locations. All right. So in three different locations in the classroom. One is the starting location. They will mime an action. They don't need to talk. There's no talking. There's a silent performance. And then when they finish the first action, they change to another location in the classroom, and they perform the second action. And then after the second action is finished, they go to a third location in the classroom and perform. They don't care about the rest of the classmates at this point. It is their own routine. It's their own loop. So let's see an example with a video of this was done it was performed in China this summer, and I went to China mainly to Beijing and Shanghai, and then I hosted several workshops of YUANFEN. So what I did basically is I explained to them the idea of the loop, and then we watched the video before we saw, and I asked them in the space, this is a small space, in this classroom, to perform their daily routine. But everybody's gonna do their own thing. They're gonna choose three locations, and they're going to repeat that while they have sense with their body and their mind of a repeated. It's a metaphor again for life. We have to do things every day, and that's kind of from Greek mythology, right? So we all do that, and you can maybe have a look at notice 2 or 3 or just one. Put your attention on one of them and follow that person, just one person, and follow that person in the loop. and maybe you can guess which activities is that person doing. So what happens here, if you see that with these like loop activities, if you see it from the outside, it looks kind of very chaotic, but also it has some order in it. So within this is just life, could be a mess, but also has kind of some rules. But the ability of perform with your bodies without talking and also create together, like this idea of routine, of repetition, of also like a way of a loop. That's the basis for us to perform Yuanfen, to use a way to perform this untranslatable word. It is very powerful, this activity. You can also get choose a song that is faster and faster, so that you ask the students to be faster and faster. Always you have to be careful and tell them, okay, don't be careful, aware of your surroundings, of other students, don't to have any problems. But usually students really find it so interesting in a way magical that they can just with 3 actions and a song and perform that. They just have created the idea of the illusion of routine. In Chinese specifically, we use this with the language learning. We use it for obviously vocabulary of daily routine, getting up to bed, having breakfast. Also, we can use it to tell a story. We can create a character and tell how is that person's life, and then by using 3 or 4 activities in a loop. So loop could be used also to describe a character. Yeah. All right. So very interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna keep sharing. Try to share it here. Okay. Okay. So right here. So we have this going to class, all these activities. So remember, this could be using any language. I use it for Chinese because I did Chinese. So this also was an example of embodied loop. We can use another example with few people, but it's the same concept.
Okay, you're gonna meet someone.
All right, so this is an example of a loop that we break the loop by meeting someone in the way like in the video. This was done in Ireland, 2022, with my fellow researchers. All right, so what we do later is like, okay, we have already the loop. We created the loop, and now we're gonna create a character, and that character will be created with one student, one person, doing an activity, very simple, but with a background song of 30, 45 seconds. And then we're going to ask for 6 questions about that. So that person is going to perform in front of the classroom, just do an activity. And then when they stop with the song without talking, the rest of the classroom will answer these questions. What's the person's name? We give them names. Maybe we give 3, 4 options of each. And the person who is acting will choose the option that they prefer. So name, age, right? Origin of the person. What's the person profession? This is 1 to 4 would be also too good for remembering vocabulary. But then we have 5 and 6 to give more dramatic tension to these characters that we create. So we're going to ask the person's dream. What is the dream? It has to be a big thing, a huge thing. It's a dream. Also, what is the person's secret? So these 6 questions will give, is a way to create characters from just 30 seconds or 45 seconds of a song and a mime. So this will be very, so we create the character A, and then we create the character B with this kind of 6 questions strategy. Once we create the characters, we have to think about an encounter. The students will, in small groups, decide about the scene. So we have the look, which is the creating the routine. Then we create 2 characters. And then these 2 characters are very different. They don't know each other, but how do they meet? How do they perform YUANFEN, right? So there will be 4 questions, like where do they meet? When? How do they meet? And what happens when they meet? So it would be very important to create these 2 characters with this technique, 1 song, 1 action mime, and then 6 questions. And then, for example, my students created these 2 characters, this boy and this boy and this girl. They just decided that they meet, for example, in a park, and they have different backgrounds, but it's very interesting.
我们开始听到那两天音乐。
So they were like, they had to perform this encounter. So this is like, they're doing different things. They're different people, but they're at the same place at the same time. And this is the key for YUANFEN. You can review a lot of vocabulary from locations, for people and that, but the act of like performing YUANFEN, right? So all these ideas are on the paper, which is open access. The paper title is Performing YUANFEN, an exploration of untranslatable words in the Lacunae project. So this was in summer. This summer, I continued with this workshop with Project YUANFEN in Beijing with some Chinese friends and students. Also here, this is different workshops that I've done recently. So I try to, in a way, learn together with people from different countries how to use drama, how to apply drama to life, to language learning. We also have the last thing I want to show you, just I have one minute, yes. So this is a writer, which is the title is We Met in Beijing. This book is also about YUANFEN. He's Anthony Tao, and we use one of his poems to perform. So we perform with a silent scene. We're going to watch that. That's the end of my presentation. The poem is about after COVID, when life was back to normal. This woman meets like a fruit seller. Then she's able to see her friends again. She sees a blind person playing an instrument in the street. And this is all in Beijing. So the poem, in a way, is also about YUANFEN. And we just ask the students to embody the poem. About return. So it's called Return. Anyway, we also did a workshop in Shanghai, online. Anyway, this is like part of YUANFEN. Final reflection for me, learning languages is like dancing, learning to dance. You are not doing it well at the beginning, but the most important thing is to try and to have fun. So this is my final reflection.
I turned into a teenage cougar pup. Yeah, I cruise through the city and I roam the streets. I'm looking for something that is nice to eat.
All right. So this is a pleasure, being a pleasure. Thank you so much for your attention. It's really great thing to be here to all together from different colleagues around the world. And I hope we have YUANFEN. We have YUANFEN online. We are meeting online somehow. So it is a blessing. And thank you so much.
And I will ask something, maybe it's not, it was interesting for me, but maybe it's not too connected to drama education. So use example of Yuanfen, right? Which is
Yes.
from a popular culture,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is
Buddhism.
really
Yes.
great. But how do you think that, how often do you see this concept in popular culture? Because it seems to me the popular culture is in the loop, and it rarely meets somebody who takes it out of the loop. So I don't know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you see it. You know, it depends on your perspective. So, for example, for Asian people or for Chinese people, Yuanfeng is part of popular culture also. It's part of their lives. They say it, for example, for relationships. So when you meet someone, you have Yuanfeng, and when you meet someone, it's something that you don't prepare. It's something it's unexpected. It happens magically, kind of in the loop in your life. Maybe other countries have other words. So I'm sure in any because when we studied the project, we chose different languages and different words. So any language has at least 2 or 3 words. I remember German language, they have like someone who's going when you go in the forest. So the feeling of being in the forest or happy in the forest. Spanish people we have something called sobremesa, which is the time after you eat or your lunch when you talk to your friends or your relatives, that part of life. I think in Finland they have a word a distance word that means the time that an animal takes from A to B before going to the bathroom. So I think it's really magical, these untranslatable words, and the Japanese culture has a similar about kind of destiny. So if you think about it, these words, because they are not easy to translate, give us a potential for drama and for learning and that process, I think that's beautiful because sometimes as people I want to have a translation because if I don't have a translation, I'm going to freak out. But actually, sometimes do not having that equivalent is a potential for drama, for learning about the culture and practicing if you're in language teaching, all these words that come together. So it's true. I mean, depends on how you see it. I didn't know about Yuanfen before going to China. I'm from Spain. We don't have this concept. But for example, karma, we have this word, but we don't have a translation. And I think maybe in your language you use karma also. I don't know. Yeah. So karma could be an example of a drama word. So how you perform karma, right? So you can create these characters, these scenes, or so again, it's an opportunity. But again, it's also very hard to explain. I don't know everything about Yuan Fen, but I think it's beautiful. You know.
Thank you. Yabin, did you want to say something? Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, actually, for the first time when I see this, the topic of Yuanfen, I was very surprised because I never, as a Chinese, I have never thought about this concept, which we can develop to be a drama class. So my question is, how did you got to the idea to develop this concept from another country, and to be your project? And I think this is very inspiring for all of us because we can have many intercultural how to say, like experiments. So
Yes.
how did you do that?
Well, so when we have this project led by Erika Piazzoli in 2002 from Trinity College Dublin, and then we have another like Peter O'Connor from New Zealand. We have all these wonderful practitioners. So we went all together for several days. We stayed in Ireland, and the idea was to all together think about like brainstorm about words that from different languages. So I came up with 3 or 4 words, and one of them was Yuan Fen, and they had their words, but in the end we decided that Yuan Fen has the most potential for drama, or it was kind of more beautiful. Or I mean, it's hard to say. All words are beautiful, all comes, but more powerful for that. So that was the idea. The idea is like I because I lived in China for 9 years. I thought, okay, I want to get some words from China, and then I choose Yuan Fen because I remember my friends in China. maybe when they meet somebody, they say, we have YUANFEN, like a romantic partner. And when they break up, they say, we have Yuan, but we don't have Fen, which is two parts to meet and to be together. So I thought it was a really elegant way to break up a relationship, or a very elegant way to say, why do they meet? So for me, that's, wow, the Chinese people, they really know how to use this language and this concept, right? So that's the position. And then drama is my passion also. I'm almost trying to learn and use it in my classroom. So you can use any word. Actually, it doesn't have to be so powerful, but
Okay.
just one word that is not easy to explain with words.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank
be
you.
any
Thank you. This is
language.
I'm really inspired by this idea. This reminds me also first time when I went to Greece, I saw a word from them, which is philoxenia.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't have a really accurate meaning for that, but it basically means be friendly to foreigners or to strangers.
Mm.
Philoxenia.
Wow.
And then I think this is also a word we don't have in Chinese. So
We don't have
I
it in
think
Spanish. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we should have, but it's actually beautiful also. We can do a performance about philoxenia.
yeah. So I think it's a very good idea for us to develop the drama projects. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.